Greetings and welcome to our daily walk through the scriptures for April the 11th. Today's readings find you in Joshua chapter 5, 6, and part of Joshua chapter 7. And then Luke chapter 15, Psalm 81, 1 through 16, and Proverbs chapter 13, verse 1. Now today, we see two wonderful examples of God's love for his children. God loves us incredibly deeply, and I think in many ways we don't fully understand how much God loves us. Now, if you're a parent, you have an inkling of that love, the love that you have for your children and that unconditional love. Yet, even then, it's still, we have to keep in mind, marred by sin. See, we are depraved, and the definition of depravity is not that there is no good. It's that there is nothing that has not been touched by evil. In other words, everything in this world has some kind of sin aspect to it. That doesn't mean that there's no good. We are created in the image of God, and there are glimpses of our imago Dei in all sorts of different ways and things that we do. But sin has still marred everything, including how we love others, including our children. There's still a selfish aspect to it with us, all sorts of different things. But here, in this, we see beautiful examples of Christ's love, especially in Luke chapter 15. Now, Judges has some wonderful stories, and we'll talk about those in the next day or so. But today, I want to look at the stories that Jesus gives here. The lost sheep, the lost coin, and the lost son. Now, these are parables, and the way Jesus tells parables is there's a main idea to the parable, and that's generally what the parable is about. You can read a lot of subcontext, you can read a lot of things that are underneath it, but you don't ever want to use that to substitute for the main point. And when you look at the story of the lost sheep, the story of the lost coin, and the story of the lost son, you see a common theme throughout, and that is God's love for those that are lost. For those that will become his children, he goes and he seeks and he finds in unrelenting ways. I mean, you see that when he goes to the open country to find the lost sheep. His love is unrelenting. He does not give up until that one is found and brought. The same thing with the coin. She continues to search and search and search until she finds this precious and valuable coin. And Jesus takes it to a more personal level when he brings it to the parable of the lost son. Because he shows two different sons. He shows the son, of course, that we know was the one that was lost. And his father rejoices because the son that was lost is now found. And we look at this and we think of the lost, but Jesus also reminds us as followers of Christ that we should never be jealous of the people that Jesus finds. Instead, we should celebrate. This is the jealousy of the older son when he looks at it and he goes, Why didn't I get all these things? Why haven't I? And the father goes, son, you've had every single one of these things. You've always had these blessings because you're one of mine. You are my precious child. Anything that is mine is yours. But now let's celebrate because someone who didn't have those things now has them. This is the love of God. The love of God that wants to see no one left behind, that will see nobody left behind. God chases his chosen until they finally relent. This is the beautiful thing about God's love. God will love us in spite of the things that we do. God will love us because of the things that we do. God will love us because God loves us. God is love. He demonstrates love. We only know love because of God's love. And he demonstrated his love for this, that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. While we were still sinners, even when we continue to sin, Christ dies for us. This is love, that we may know love, that we may love others the way that Christ has loved us. A new command I give to you, love one another as I have loved you. We know love because Christ demonstrated it for us, not because of what we think love is. The world has a lot of misconceptions about love, but love is what God says it is because God demonstrates love. God is the definition of love. Love does not define God. God defines love. There's your thought for today. I hope you experience and feel the love of God this day. We'll talk next time.